Yes, good evening, and thank you for joining us for the final instalment in this webinar series. I'm Katie Brooks, Community Engagement Officer at the Rainbow Care Group in Bromley. And for this final instalment, we're going to be giving you a bit more detail about the Rainbow Care Group's Dementia Day Clubs, our values, what our members get up to when they're with us, and I hope you find it useful. So who we are, we're a dementia daycare service providing compassionate person-centred care for people in our community who are living with dementia. The Rainbow Care Group franchise was originally set up in the north of England and now has clubs running in 27 regions across the UK. The clubs have successfully supported individuals from the age of 38 to 104 in the last 10 years. So in Bromley, the Rainbow Care Group set up in March last year, with our first club being the Coney Hall Football Club location. And then we followed that with the opening of our Orpington Club in December. We've picked peaceful community settings to host our clubs to ensure that the days don't feel clinical or institutional. And between the two venues, we're open every weekday, 10 AM until 4 PM. So Orpington is open on a Monday, and we're soon to add other days, and Coney Hall is open from Tuesday to Friday. And we currently have spaces every day, should you be thinking of getting a loved one to try it out. So there's just a few photos of our venues. We've tried to find places that have lovely outdoor space, so that now the weather's improving, we'll make more use of those, so that members are able to spend time outdoors in the fresh air, exercising and boosting wellbeing, and that's very important for us. And at the Rainbow Care Group, our mission is to promote dignity and independence by providing care and support in a safe and happy environment, enabling people to participate in social interaction, meaningful and purposeful activities while continuing to live at home. So we aim to support carers and families by providing a guilt-free respite service with the aim of reducing carer burnout and fatigue. We also hope that we can alleviate some of the stigma surrounding dementia and raise more awareness of the condition through our positive links in the community. So I think that's a really important mission of ours. So we hope that through the respite we provide for carers, that those living with dementia will be able to live at home for longer in their familiar surroundings, if their carers are able to take some time, much needed time for themselves. So what we offer, I mentioned our club opening times of 10 AM until 4 PM. We hope that that's a good chunk of time to enable family members and carers to be able to, go and do something for themselves, catch up on, jobs that they need doing, have a rest. It's a good 6-hour stretch, and we provide a full day of cognitive stimulation and social interaction for our members. So we might start with a light breakfast on arrival, go into looking at some reminiscence newspapers and activities, quizzes and games, a 2-course hot lunch, and then in the afternoon we'll usually do some kind of chair exercises, chair tai chi, chair dancing, music, crafts, arts, lots of things that will keep our members busy. We do therapy-based activities, so these will include cognitive, sensory, physical and reminiscence activities. And we have choice built in, so we do run split activities. So if we can see that some members aren't interested in the core activity that's running, we'll always try and offer an alternative, so nobody gets left behind, everybody's engaged and enjoying themselves. We plan the days around who we know is attending that day, wants and abilities, so it's really tailored to the specific group. When we welcome a new member to the Rainbow Care Group, we do ask the family to complete with them quite an in-depth document about the person so we can understand, you know, how did they grow up, what siblings did they have, where did they work, and this information really helps us to provide better, more personalised care. I briefly mentioned food, that we endeavour to provide nutritious food, including breakfast to 2-course hot lunch, drinks and snacks throughout the day, and we can cater to all dietary requirements. We have lots of members with various dietary requirements. Our day trips are very popular with both our members and our teams. These will cover everything from a simple pint at a local pub to visits to farms, museums and amusement arcades. We've been recently to Foal Farm, the Maritime Museum, the O2 amusement arcades, the Christmas markets when they were on. So try and get out and about and enjoy sort of normal everyday trips and activities, get out in the world. Really important is our staff ratio as well. So I think legally you only need to have 1 staff member to 8 club members, but we feel that that isn't enough to provide a really good service. So we have a staff ratio of at least 1 staff member to 4 club members, and that enables us to assist in more areas. And also all of our staff receive quite in-depth training about dementia when they join one of our clubs, so they're dementia specialists. So why choose us? It is a very difficult thing to do, to place your trust in an organisation to care for your loved one, especially when you might be so used to taking that on yourself. It can be very difficult for families to make that leap. So why choose us? The Rainbow Care Group are 6 times National Care Award winners, so hopefully that shows you know, some of the recognition we've had for the different approach to care that we take. Our care is individually tailored, so we take a person-centred approach and look at the individual, not the diagnosis. We look at abilities and not disabilities, and we take time to get to know each person that we support and, you know, look at what can we do, and have a positive approach to everything. We're activity focused, so we promote independence and encourage participation in meaningful activities, and this enables individuals to continue doing things that make them happy, or maybe rediscover hobbies and interests that might have been left behind a while ago, but we bring back at the clubs. We're a very supportive team, so we aim to help wherever we can, and offer reassurance that there's always someone at the other end of the phone who cares and understands your situation. In terms of that support, a lot of the families of our members have become friends and, you know, gain support from each other in that they're in similar situations. So that's a really nice group. And we're professional, so we're very proud of the care that we deliver, and we have a thorough recruitment process, so we ensure that our team members share our core values, have a very caring nature, and look after our members as they would their own family. It's a privilege to do what we do, and our team share the vision for changing the way that dementia care is delivered. So dignity and feeling safe. We refer to ourselves as a social club rather than a dementia club. To our members, we find that's sort of a more attractive way of describing the group. It can be quite a barrier initially to encourage a loved one to attend a club like ours. So we focus on being a social club. We're a fun environment where you can make friends and, you know, have a good time. It's not really focused on dementia. We refer to our members as club members rather than residents or clients, to, you know, along those same lines of being a social club. Our staff are quite tactile, so, you know, we'll offer hugs and reassuring words to help members feel comfortable. Sometimes just the hold of a hand or a hand on the shoulder can mean a lot. And we do provide regular updates to families. So when we welcome a member to the club, the family are added to a WhatsApp group, so you can receive photos of how your loved one's getting on throughout the day, because we appreciate it can be difficult to feel confident when your loved one may not be able to tell you how their day's been, or remember the details of what's happened. So we'll try and fill that gap. So looking at activities, I've just grabbed a list, but they're many and varied. Some of the very popular ones are we have a daily Sparkle newspaper that we do every morning, which features kind of news articles and events from the past, that each member takes turns reading a section, and then we discuss what they might remember from that time, or any memories they have of that. So that's a really popular session. Crafts and arts, colouring, making things are very popular. Quizzes, music is very powerful. So each day we will have some time just enjoying some music and get up and have a dance. So it really is fun. And then we do celebrate all the major calendar events that you might expect. So Remembrance Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Chinese New Year, Diwali. We'll make a celebration of anything to have fun at the clubs. I'll just play now a short video which shows some of the activities and cognitive stimulation therapy that takes place. You'll hear in the video our regional director Schlott talking about his mission this year, and just to detail what that is, he's working towards supporting 250 families in the borough. That's his ambition by the end of the year. And he started this business having cared for his grandfather with dementia, alongside his wife who had cared for her grandmother. So there's a deep sort of personal connection to dementia in this business, and real commitment to delivering brilliant care.
Day 3 of my 365-day mission. And I have to be honest with you, it's not always easy, but it's always worth it. When I see a member truly focused, really present in the moment, I feel a massive sense of relief. Because in that split second, the diagnosis doesn't matter. Only the connection does. People ask why I care so much about the food. And it's because I want the place to feel like home, not a clinic. That smell of fresh garlic bread is comfort and dignity. There's a quiet joy in seeing someone enjoy a meal they didn't have to cook for themselves, knowing it's one less thing for the family to worry about today. When we do activities like this, I'm not looking for a masterpiece. I'm looking for that spark of pride when they hold up their work and smile. That's my why for the whole week. Sometimes I feel the weight of 250 families I still need to reach, but then I hear this laughter, and I'm reminded that we change the world one smile and one hand of cards at a time. So, if you're a carer in Bromley feeling overwhelmed, know that there is a seat at our table for your loved one. Let's make day 4 even better. See you tomorrow.
So costs, we will obviously have to look at the costs, and we're very transparent into what we charge. So the daily cost of attending the Rainbow Care Group's clubs is £90 plus VAT, and that includes your 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. full day of care. There's nothing hidden when we go to the pub for a pint or we go out on activities. There won't be any additional charges. Food and refreshments are all included. And though we're a private company and many of our members are self-funded, we do have members who receive attendance allowance that they put towards, the cost of attending the club. So that might be something worth looking into. On the previous slide, there are a couple of photos from days out. We've had recently the top one being Foal Farm and the bottom one being a pub trip, but I do have a video now showing some fun we've had at a recent day out where we actually went to IKEA, and it just shows how everyday places can become a playground.
I'm not sure who is having more fun here. The club members or this giant, surprisingly judgmental plush snake. But honestly, it's a toss up. Hi, I'm Shlok, and this is day 10 of my mission to support 250 families living with dementia in Bromley. But today we have staged a full scale, specialized respite takeover of IKEA Greenwich. Now, some see a furniture store, but as a specialist, I see a sensory arena for positive risk taking. At £15 an hour, we provide a high engagement community bridge that works alongside existing support to keep minds active and slow down decline. We specialize in person centered care, which is just a fancy way of saying our members get to be themselves, validating the person behind the diagnosis, whether they are testing out a new armchair or choosing their own Swedish meatballs. To the families feeling that caregiver's guilt, listen to me. Respite care isn't just about sending them away, it's about giving them a day of life while you take a breath. They go home calmer, they sleep better, and you get to recharge. A diagnosis shouldn't mean the end of adventure. So if you need a specialized hand in Bromley, reach out to us. See you for day 11.
I love IKEA, and I'm glad that our members have got to enjoy it too. Um, and yes, don't take our word for it. We've built some great connections with some of the families we support, and I've just included here some of the testimonials that the families have been kind enough to give us. So I'll just read them. It's been a lifeline for us to know that our mum is in such capable and caring hands. Every member of the Rainbow Care Group team is wonderful at engaging with all the club members. The Rainbow Care Group has been a lifeline, not just for my partner Doug, but also for me being able to do something for myself, knowing he is looked after and enjoying his time there. My husband has been attending for the past month. There are lots of activities and it's great fun. The staff are very kind and professional. I recommend this group for those living with dementia without any hesitation. So yes, we're so happy to have received those comments, and it's the kind of thing that gets us up in the morning. It's lovely. And along the thread of talking about relationships and trying to get involved with people's lives and their own celebrations, we do try and go big on birthdays and really make a good celebration of those at the club. So I'll just share a short video on one of our members, James's birthdays recently.
Hi everyone, I've been a bit quiet this week. The club's been beautifully busy. This week we celebrated a very special 80th birthday for our friend James. We started his big day with our reminiscence newspaper, just to wake the brain up, followed by a competitive game of sandbag targets. James has always loved sports, and you can still see the focus and determination in his eyes when he plays. Then came the celebrations. We cut the cake, the whole club sang to him, and honestly, the amount of love in that room was incredible. For lunch, we made sure he had his favorite food, and of course, birthday cake with chocolate custard for dessert. Music has always been close to James's heart, so we turned the club into the dance floor. He sang along to every word, danced with pure joy, and even our little champ joined the party. One of those moments you just don't forget. After all the energy, we slowed the things down. Every single member hand wrote James a birthday card. In a world where dementia can feel isolating, seeing him hold those cards, he truly felt like the most important man in Bromley. Everything today was about James. His story, his music, his memories, even his triumph TR6. Happy 80th birthday, James. You remind us that every day is worth celebrating. See you for day 9.
It's one of my favourite videos. That looked like a great day. So how do we welcome new members? So the first port of call is a taster day. So should you have a loved one who you think you would like to try out one of our clubs, just get in touch and we can sign you up for a free taster day. So they could come along for a full day, 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. And just see how it works for them. We don't usually have family or carers staying with new members. It's kind of a drop off, settle them in for 10-15 minutes and then go off. We find people sort of settle better when their loved ones have departed for the day. and these taster days are completely free from any cost or obligation. And then should you want to continue after that, it's a minimum commitment of 1 day per week. We have members that do 1 day, we have members that attend for 5 days a week across both clubs, so really whatever works for you. Some people start with 1 day and increase over time, so yeah, we tend to be very flexible. And we also recognise that there may be doctor's appointments, reasons that you can't attend some weeks. So there are a number of holiday days you're entitled to per year. And then in addition to that, generally, if you let us know when you do that you can't attend, we'll try and move to a different day that week or an additional day the next week, something like that. So the idea is you're not paying for things that you're not using. But yeah, should you be interested in a free taster day, we'd love to hear from you. So we've whizzed through that fairly quickly. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, please do just open up the chat and pop them in. I'll just allow a minute to see if, how do we get to the days out minibus? We are looking currently at getting a minibus. At the moment, our regional director or staff transport our members. We tend to take very small groups on days out just to ensure we can have a very close eye on people, so it might be a group of 3 or 4 people, but our intention is to get a minibus. Okay, I can't see any on typing. Must have answered all the questions already. If you do think of anything post this meeting, you've got my details here, and I'll send out a recording of this tomorrow also, and my details will be on the email, so yeah, don't hesitate to email or phone to get in touch. But yes, thank you very much for joining this evening, and I'll let you get back to your evening. Thank you very much. Bye bye.